Hey guys, Mike Cameron here. Welcome to my basement studio. Today we're going to talk a little bit of creativity and I'm going to show you how to make some custom shaped bokeh. Pretty much my entire life, I would have told you I do not have a creative bone in my body. But maybe in the last 3 to 5 years, I've realized how ridiculous that is. I think it all comes back to the fact that I don't necessarily have a natural talent for drawing or painting, but that doesn't mean I'm not creative. So one of the things I did in early 2019 was I issued a public challenge to myself. I said I was going to go out and shoot 30 days of photography and share those photos. So one of the things that I did while doing that was created this image here with some custom heart-shaped bokeh, and it got a lot of feedback. You guys seemed to really enjoy it, and I had a lot of questions around how did I do that. So I thought I would extend that creativity and do something I've never done before, which is create a tutorial. So this is definitely an experiment. This is about my 5th take. The concept behind this custom shaped bokeh is really just using a lens with a wide enough aperture. So I've got the 35mm 1.8 on my Sony a6500 sitting over there in the corner. I've got a string of fairy lights over here about 4 feet away. I keep the mug in focus over here and the fairy lights get blurred out and out of focus. So what I do to make the custom shaped bokeh is simply cut a circle of black paper and cut that shape in there. So I did a number of shapes. The one you just saw in the time lapse was the heart shape. Quickly going to show you exactly how I did it. Cutting board, my black piece of paper, the lens cap for the 35mm lens, and I simply cut out a piece of black paper in a circle that would now fit over the lens. To do the heart was pretty easy. Just fold the paper in half. I think we've all done this in school at some point or another. And we cut out a little half heart shape. And again, I've had varying degrees of success with this. Sometimes my hearts are awesome, sometimes they're not so awesome. So this one actually turned out not too badly. So now we take this heart-shaped filter, we simply pop it over the lens. And in this case, I've got it tight enough that it can fit right inside. We're gonna pop the mug up at the end of the table here. I've got the aperture light and I popped a candle inside as well, just for a little more dramatic lighting effect. Don't burn your fingers. So I can see now that I've got the heart-shaped filter over the A6500, the 35mm lens. I've got the mug in focus and the fairy lights are blurred out. They're out of focus because I've got that aperture wide open. And the filter on there makes the bokeh in the background actually the shape of the filter. So you can do this with any kind of shape. Like I said, I did a couple of them with snowflakes, with an owl shape, with the heart shape. So these work really, really well. And it was super fun. Again, just sort of testing the creativity. Obviously, it works better in the dark for the effect that I was looking for. I've got my little aperture light. Pop that in front of the mug. We will spot focus. All right, so this technique is super easy to do, super fun, and I think the results turned out fabulously. I had a wide variety of results. One of the things that I screwed up on a couple of times is I had my shutter speed way too high, and I don't know how that happened, but I did, and I ended up with my ISO up around 12,500, so it was just a grainy image. So make sure you lock off that ISO. You're sitting on a tripod, so you can have that shutter speed as slow as you like. All right, guys, that's it. It's super fun, super easy to do. You can get creative. Like I said, I've got a number of different shapes. I got an owl shape, I got snowflakes, I got butterflies. In fact, I haven't tried the butterflies. Why don't we try the butterfly right now? I feel like the butterfly is not going to get very deep in there, so I am going to fold this. And look at that. Little butterfly shape. Let's have a look at what that looks like. That looks pretty slick. We will play with a few different configurations. All right, guys, that was super fun. So let's dive into Lightroom and have a look at what we can do to manipulate these images and come up with our end result. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, we are gonna hop into Lightroom and have a look at what we captured. You may see that I've got a whole bunch here that were kind of failed experiments. Yeah, to some extent. Some of them actually look all right. Let's go, File, Import. All right, so first couple of shoots, I think I mentioned the problem I ran into was I shot at extremely high ISO because I had my shutter speed way up, and I don't quite know how that happened. Maybe I had it on aperture priority and it automatically did that. I don't know. So I was cautious with that, made sure the ISO was set at 100, and then I just adjusted the shutter speed and slowed it right down because we're on a tripod and we can do that. So here's all the shots that we took, so let's import those. All right, once we're in Lightroom, we've got our photos in. We're just gonna take a scroll through these and decide sort of the pattern of lights that we like best. And I think I'm gonna work with this one here. We're gonna pop into the Develop tab and just go to your basic settings. We're gonna bump that exposure just a little bit to get a little bit more brightness on the mug. And then we're gonna take our blacks and we're gonna drop them all the way down so we get rid of that background completely. And we're gonna drop our shadows completely too, just so we don't get any of that blue fringe in there. And we'll take our highlights, bump those up a little bit so that we get some of that glow back in the candle. And we'll do the same with our whites, bring those up. And again, depending on how much sort of glow you want to leave around here, you can completely do that. But yeah, again, we're gonna drop our shadows right down. And we're pretty good to go with that. So we are gonna right click. We are gonna edit in Photoshop. And we've got our 8x10 crop there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump up that canvas size to about 110%, just so we get a little bit more room to work with. So now we can move that around, center that a little bit. If we need to adjust it at all, we can adjust that. So there's our crop. The other thing we're going to want to do is pop some text in here. So for the hearts, I put the word love in there. And you can use the arrow keys to make some micro adjustments and sort of nudge that around. Then we are going to change the blend mode to overlay, just so it's a little bit more subtle there. And now you can crop that however you see fit. And you've got yourself a nice little photo. There you go. Congratulations. Well done. All right, guys. So go play with it, have some fun, show me what you come up with. All right, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. For those of you that put out tutorials on a regular basis, I've got to tell you, I have a whole new level of respect for what you do, because that was not easy for me at all. I've got about 5 more days before I hop on a plane and head off to the jungles of Costa Rica. It is currently about minus 39 in Edmonton with the wind chill, and Costa Rica I think is probably plus 30. So we're talking about a 70-degree temperature swing, which I am really looking forward to. In 1 week from today will be my 50th birthday, and I will be towing the line at the Coastal Challenge, the longest distance I have ever run in my life. 240 kilometers through the jungles of Costa Rica over 6 days. So the next video you see from me will be footage of the Coastal Challenge. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you get notified when I upload new videos, and hit like if you enjoyed this video. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I really, truly appreciate it, and we will see you in the next video.